Thank you for listening to RoadSigns, the podcast series from Transport Topics that explores the trends and technologies that are shaping the future of trucking. I'm your host, Michael Fries. Before we dive into today's episode, we'd like to invite you to subscribe to Transport Topics, where you can receive exclusive access to our top 100 lists, quarterly magazines, and other news surrounding the trucking industry. To subscribe, visit ttn.ws/TT subscribe. You can also text TT subscribe to 571 622 0001 to become an official member of Transport Topics. That's 571 622 0001. For several years, vehicle manufacturers have jumped into fresh innovations that have helped the trucking industry move into better efficiency and equipment performance. We discussed electric trucks and automation on the podcast plenty. However, there is still much more to say about the details, namely safety and connectivity. Obviously, safety is a top concern for drivers, and staying connected to real-time information is a necessity for any business, especially trucking. But where are those pain points in implementation, and how can they be formally addressed and dealt with? So for this episode, we'll ask, how are vehicle manufacturers providing suitable safety and connectivity options for commercial fleets? For this answer, we'll speak with two experts from Volvo that know safety and connectivity and the impact for commercial fleets. Chayene Souza, Product Marketing Manager, and Magnus Gustafson, Vice President of Connected Services. We met with them during our time at the Technology and Maintenance Council annual meeting last spring. Let's check it out. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
No problem at all. No problem at all. You know, there's been a lot of hubbub right now for the Volvo VNL. I definitely want to talk about that. But before we get into the product, I just kind of want to talk about some industry-wide specific things for concerning the industry. Especially when it comes to equipment. And I think I'm talking to the right people when we're talking safety and connectivity. So, when producing a product such as this, there's a lot of feedback involved when it comes to what type of vehicle would I want as a fleet manager, and what would be, number one, safe to drive, and number two, especially in this age with connectivity, I will want something that I can communicate certain issues, maybe driver issues, equipment issues, being especially in the tech segment. But I kind of want to hear, maybe Magnus, you can probably answer this in the sense of, connectivity. What was some of the feedback that dealers were expressing when, wanting a vehicle such as the VNL?
Yeah, so I think when we look at the connectivity aspect of things, we're building on an already, I would say, industry-leading platform that we have with our different offers when it comes to uptime services and so forth, right? But then we're also incorporating what maybe even younger generation drivers want. We're also trying to cater towards younger fleet managers as that transition is happening. So I think the connectivity, the technology is a way of life, and it's what people are used to. So I'll give you an example. We have introduced this My Truck app for the all-new VNL. And it is an app that a driver can interact and interface with their truck, as an example. So it's making that transition from auto, what you're used to in your personal life, and also how does that come into your work life, right, as you work with these new trucks. So it's the technology is there to help embrace the new truck, of course, but also to generate customer value. That's really why we're doing it in the first place.
Oh, okay. I like what you said in the beginning with getting to the younger fleet manager, getting to that younger segment into the business. But at the same time, as you're getting there, there's still the I would say the legacy, the traditional fleet manager that has been in the industry for many decades. But I'm sure you appeal to them as well.
Absolutely. No, we do. Of course we do. And it's to find that sweet spot and the balance, right? How do you cater to, let's say, established and new? So it's a key for us, but we're building on a solid foundation that we have, and we just launched our Volvo Connect Fleet Portal last year in October. and the all new VNL is building on that. So if you think about where we left off with the legacy VNL, this becomes the starting point, right? Where we capped out on that truck, this becomes the new starting point, and we're building from there.
Oh, okay. Well, Cheyenne, we talked about the connectivity. I mean, but it's also, that the firm commitment from most dealers that I speak to, you can talk about price all you want, but it comes down to safety as well. You have that driver operating your vehicle, but it's not good if it's not safe and that driver feels safe. What are some of those qualities in the VNL that that are attracting dealers to really see the enhancements that you have made in terms of safety?
As on safety, this truck brings so many enhancements that it's even like, I don't think we have enough time to talk about all of them. But to mention a few, we already had our active driver assist, Volvo active driver assist, which we call kindly within the company VEDA. And that's based on forward collision mitigation with automatic braking. Now we bring an extra feature on top of that, which is the pedestrian detection. So now we are able to detect pedestrians, bicyclists, and stop the truck before anything happens. On top of that, we're also bringing side pedestrian detection, which is our so-called VEDA Plus. And again, in urban areas where no truck driver can pay attention on everything. I drive trucks, and you are trying absolutely all the time to pay attention on everything, but it's impossible. We are human beings. So those technologies are there to help our drivers, give them an extra set of eyes, an extra set of ears, so help them to prevent accidents and be safer on the road.
Bridgestone knows that maximizing your fleet's efficiency matters, which is why they offer Bridgestone Fleet Care, a customizable suite of tools that connect tires, tire solutions, and service, all backed by the power of data to help you manage and maintain the specific needs of your fleet. With Bridgestone Fleet Care, you get the ability to monitor your fleet's real-time performance with revolutionary technology and sustainable innovations. Plus, you gain access to the Bridgestone Commercial Dealer Network, the world's largest commercial tire dealer network with over 2,500 locations nationwide. Because maximizing your fleet's efficiency matters, but having a partner that joins you in the journey, that's what really matters. Join Fleet Care at commercial.bridgestone.com.
One of the things that I come across, especially going to shows such as TMC and even ACT Expo, you're talking about sustainability, and that's always a big benefit, especially for the products that are coming out right now. But at the same time, for managers, it's great to have all that information, but from the ones that I've talked to, they're telling me it's just sort of these are great. We have all these benefits, but I need something customized for my fleet. My fleet is in the rural area. Or my fleet's in certain areas that maybe the technology might not be as viable as it would be in other conditions. What would you tell such fleet managers who are running that problem?
And Magnus, I think here we can build and talk about the Volvo Connect, because it's such a great tool for our fleets, if you come back to that. And Volvo Connect gathers all the information from the truck. But we have a very powerful tool that's super smart in our uptime center back in Greensboro that manipulates the data before providing to the fleet manager. So we are trying to make sure whatever red code, yellow code, whatever information that pops up on that screen is information that they actually wanted to use. If everything is fine, nothing is in the screen. So really cleaning up the data to make sure that fleets are getting what they need to see.
Okay. Well, Magnus, I want to flip back to the connectivity part, because it's almost sort of a game changer in the sense of just intervals, your repair intervals, and just in the sense of maintenance and getting the quick turnover, that makes for a better efficient shop. It makes for a better, happier technician. In the long game, yeah. But could you just elaborate on just sort of the efficiency when it comes to
those maintenance times, and just in that connectivity, because you get that the data that you're just talking about, you get that information so much quicker. You can make those repairs in a quicker time, and things get moving, and those benefits can you can really see it go down the benefit 3-6 a year from now.
Yeah. No, I think, but we're using then connectivity in two different aspects as it comes to addressing your question. Number one is from a maintenance point of view, right? We're looking at vehicle operational data, and then how do we optimize service intervals? So it's not just about, typically what you end up seeing is, your oil drain interval is X miles, and then you have other filters, different filters or different intervals. So how do you optimize that, and how do you take then how the vehicle is operating, right? And not just these static intervals that you typically have. So we have this analytics engine that runs behind the scenes, right? And then we deliver more optimized plan stops for our customers, and we can incorporate other repairs that may be needed during that planned stop. So that's one aspect that we're leveraging the connectivity. And then the other one I would say is around our remote diagnostics, where we can detect issues and mitigate them as they happen. And we have different classifications of those types of cases. One may be service soon, and one is like a service now, right? So it's a needs immediate attention and so forth. But the service soon, those we can incorporate into these planned maintenance intervals, so then you don't have to take the truck out of service just to repair something that can wait. And then on the flip side is the ones that require immediate attention, we can help pre-plan those visits, even if it becomes a little bit of an emergency. We can help seed information to our dealers, have technicians ready, have parts ready, and it's already pre-diagnosed. So it's different ways to use the technology and the connectivity for different purposes.
Okay. Well, I mean, just in those particular conversations, what are some of the challenges that dealers have communicated to you on, achieving a more efficient, maintenance intervals?
Well, so I think it's about sometimes, Chayene mentioned there's a lot of information, right? So how do we simplify that? How do we create actionable insights to our customers where they can actually consume the information? As the old saying goes, less is sometimes more,
yes.
Right? So I think there's an art and a science in simplifying something and not just do something because you can.
Right.
And how do you balance that? And I think that's really where we, of course, see customer feedback to incorporate that into everything that we do. Is we got to keep the customer in mind first and foremost, and then how can we solve those problems or help with opportunities for our customers to be more efficient. So it's leveraging that and finding that sweet spot.
Yeah, that's Magnus, that's something that I've been hearing a lot. I mean, even when I'm having discussions about EVs and just sort of waiting for that, fleets waiting for the right time to purchase, and not just purchasing because it's the new cool thing, or this is what this board said, or something like that. But I mean, I'm surprised to hear that. I'm not surprised, but I'm hearing that tone a lot. I'm hearing that common theme of just sort of the viability of having that. And I guess that goes back into the data. Just sort of getting that data, and fleet managers having paralysis by analysis when it comes to that. And it's just sort of what are some of the conversations you've been having with dealers and talking to fleets about just those conversations, just about the viability of having that information and making it custom made just for them.
I was just talking to a dealer that stopped in our booth this morning, which is very interesting, and he was telling me that he has a variety of customers, right? And then he needs to cater his services, so to say, when it comes to connectivity, to each type of customer he has. And he has the big fleets that sometimes already have their own way to collect data and to analyze data. And he has some, even, I would say, still big fleets that want everything done by the dealer. So the dealer also wants that information, and then that's exactly as Magnus said. They want it clean, they want it crisp, so they can actually then bring those customers, make a plan together with them. Hey, bring 10 trucks, we'll do the remote software updates, we'll do your services all at one time, minimizing the downtime for those trucks. And also you have then the smaller fleets where sometimes you have the tech-savvy fleet managers that actually want all the data and want to have the understanding of that. So dealers have a lot of challenges here, but I think we're getting them more and more tools into our customers as well so they can deal with that.
Bridgestone knows that maximizing your fleet's efficiency matters, which is why they offer Bridgestone Fleet Care, a customizable suite of tools that connect tires, tire solutions, and service, all backed by the power of data to help you manage and maintain the specific needs of your fleet. With Bridgestone Fleet Care, you get the ability to monitor your fleet's real-time performance with revolutionary technology and sustainable innovations. Plus, you gain access to the Bridgestone Commercial Dealer Network, the world's largest commercial tire dealer network with over 2,500 locations nationwide. Because maximizing your fleet's efficiency matters. But having a partner that joins you in the journey, that's what really matters. Join Fleet Care at commercial.bridgestone.com.
My last question before I get you guys out of here, when it comes to, and we don't have to talk about, AI, for instance, on just sort of where it's going to take their industry, but when it just comes to, connectivity and safety, and then meld in with technology, you can't really avoid that conversation. But, where do you see that melding into, technology and really providing something for fleets in the next 5 or 10 years? Would that be something that would be more seamless, or would that be something that would be more customized when you talk to dealers one-on-one?
Well, I think if we talk about AI in particular, I think the way that I look at it in particular is I see, a lot of this data it's a result of something, right? So if it's aggregated, I've been driving my truck a certain way and it's doing these things, and now I see what it's doing. I think the next where AI can really play a big role is, okay, help me change from X to Y. And then you can apply these models and you can use it as a tool, as almost like a consultancy type of thing, right? And how do I optimize my vehicle, my specs based on the historical things? Because it has to learn from something.
Right.
And we have all that historical data and it's sort of predicting that future. And I think that's the exciting part, is how do we apply that? But again, the technology is just the enabler. It's like, what value is it generating for our customers? And I also say, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And it's that balance, because at the end of the day, our customers, they want to haul freight. The truck is there to do a job. And then how do we leverage the technology to ease that? But the technology is not the main thing.
We've been speaking with Chayene Souza and Magnus Gustafson from Volvo. Thank you very much for your time here at the booth, and safe travels.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, great being here.
Before we close, let's take a moment to revisit the previous question. How are vehicle manufacturers providing suitable safety and connectivity options for commercial fleets? A big thanks to Chayene Souza and Magnus Gustafson from Volvo for joining us on the program. Speaking to both, we learned that the name of the game in connectivity and safety is uptime. The less the truck is in the bay for repair, the more opportunity it has to make revenue on the road. While promoting its new V&L line, the Souza and Gustafson explained the importance overall in keeping in constant communication with commercial fleets. That feedback, calling for more efficiency and using technology to ID real-time maintenance issues more quickly, has helped the manufacturer to deliver a more focused service for their customers. In part, these conversations, the two noted, are just the foundation of establishing a stronger relationship for fleets who are able to utilize safety and connectivity features. If you enjoyed this episode of RoadSigns, please let others know. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Feel free to reach out to the RoadSigns team on X at TT RoadSigns, or reach me at Michael V. Fries. You can email us at share@ttnews.com. We'll read them and respond daily. Also, let us know how we're doing by texting TT Survey to 571-622-0001. And of course, we'll be back with a new episode of RoadSigns. Until then, I'm Michael Fries. Thank you for listening.
Did you know you can ask Alexa to open transport topics? In just 1 minute, you will hear the biggest trucking headlines of that day. Be prepared and start your morning off right with Transport Topics.